My dear people of Amazonia, my great warriors of the Southern Cameroun liberation struggle, accept revolutionary greetings from me, or let me call them liberation greetings from me, Comrade John Akuro. And today is Sunday, May 22, 2022. My people, I want to extend hearty congratulations to everyone on the territory of the Southern Cameroons for the wonderful job on May 20. We had some little pockets of places where La République du Cameroun could still pride themselves that they had some kind of, feast. But by and large, the ridicule this year was more than it has ever been at all. And even right in Yaoundé, we heard the voice of God. Take a listen.
I can quote it all the time. Open your Bible, you see. Romans 13, 1 to 5. That power comes from God. And all those who have authority, they come from God. Chief Fonmoke is here today, the paramount chief, because God says he will be the paramount chief. That's what God says. President Paul is head of state because God said, you are the head of state.
Objection. Objection.
Okay, let us put it away.
Fight God. Nobody can fight God. You can stand in the midst of everybody. You can stand before this God and speak everything. But I want to make sure to know that there is a God in heaven that watches everybody. And the Bible said that he said the Egyptian that you see today.
You got the message. I feel wondering, but doesn't this look old? Why is he bringing this here? I wanted us to pick out the message. This was a great moment in our liberation movement where God raised this woman to come and say, objection to all this blasphemy of the use of the name of God, to justify tyranny, to justify oppression. And let me remind you that there is a God in heaven. And she says, there is a God in heaven, and nobody will escape his judgment. Nobody can fight God. Those were her words. Nobody can fight God. We have seen a lot of attempts by La République du Cameroun and its agents and its enablers in our land in trying to derail the will and dictum of God, which is that independence now is our portion, not federalism, no, not confederation, no. That union between La République du Cameroun and us was an unholy union, and that is the kind of union that needs to be dissolved. So it came to pass that on this May 20, again, our people rose to the occasion to tell the world that we will not be part of the celebration of a big lie. I want to doff my heart to all and sundry, congratulate everyone, even those who were forced in some places or misled by the so-called enabling elite who want to use them as a political trophy and who found themselves doing whatever they did. I still want to congratulate all and sundry, because those instances only come to justify the clear standing that over 90% of our people are resolved that we do not want to have anything again at all to do with La République du Cameroun. La République du Cameroun has believed over time that singing this lie, the big lie of one and indivisible over and over and over, can make it become truth. La République du Cameroun has been drowning in this imaginary world where they think that everything can just be decreed and repeated over and over, and it sinks by claiming that we were part of their territory. Today, more than ever before, it is getting clearer and clearer to La République du Cameroun that we were not one. We are not one, and we will never be one. Before I get down to the territory, down in the southern Cameroons, let's share beautiful moments with our comrades in Canada who took the challenge to come out on this 20 May to do exactly what is expected of all of us. I wasn't out on the field doing what they did, but I was in spirit with them. But I want to say this. This is what we should be doing more and more. And I want to extend to them my hearty thanks, hearty congratulations, and my word of encouragement. Let's share with them.
Home again, home again. When shall I see my home? Home again. When shall I see my native land? I will never forget my home. Home again, home again, home again. When shall I see my home? When shall I see my native land? I will never forget my home. Home again, home again. When shall I see my home? When shall I see my native land? I will never forget my home. Home again, home.
Yes, so that was in Canada. I think I have a second clip. My apologies that the clips appear to play upside down. You know, they took them on amateur camera phones, and so, but the important thing is just to share these moments so that we see how much commitment some of our people took on this May 20th. That a good lot of our people went beyond just sitting home. They did many other things, and this is one of them. And that's why I'm appreciating our people in Canada.
See you. Take one.
Yeah, no, I don't want to drive for you now. We never leave our journey halfway.
Oh, until we reach Boya. Until we reach Boya.
We never leave our journey halfway. Oh, until we reach Boya.
Until we reach Boya. Until we reach Boya. Until we reach Boya. Until we reach Boya. We'll never leave our journey halfway. Oh, until we reach Boya.
So I want you all to join me to extend hearty regards to our brethren in Canada. So my people, that was a beautiful job. And thank you for the commitment. And thank you for reminding all and sundry that this journey must only end when we get to Boya. Until we get to Boya, there is no stopping, no shaking, no backsliding. No matter the number of people who decide to backslide, listen, this journey will not stop. You will backslide, you will go and stay, you will watch, you think that it will end, and then you observe that it is not ending, you will front slide again and come back and join us. Because this journey will only end in Boya. So I want to thank you, brethren. Thank you so much for standing up and standing out. Now, let us go down to the territory to celebrate the heroism of our people, of the people on ground zero. Every single day of my life, I offer prayers and I offer a word of thanks to God for making me to be born in the southern Cameroons. I'm proud of our people, proud of our land. There are a few among us who can be a disgrace, who can be a distraction, but that is normal with every human society. We will take back our country. We will change this country. We will transform this country. We will make it a place to be. Like I said earlier, a lot of our people are already thinking of what we will do to make our country a better Dubai, a better United Arab Emirates, that all and sundry will say, this is where I need to go to. This is where I belong. My people of the southern Cameroons, don't you ever take your eyes away from this beautiful dream. Keep dreaming. It's a good dream. So this is what happened in Bello. And you see, it's amazing because at the end of the day in Bello, the only people who went out to march past are those who identify as CPDM. And we have said this before, that these are the people that La République has in our midst, who continue by day and by night to try and foil our ambition for a free and prosperous southern Cameroons, for a free, independent, and strong Ambazonia. But you see, at the end of the day, by their actions sometimes, they ridicule the same system that they pretend that they are wanting to protect and to perpetuate in our land. Look at this. That's a divisional officer. See where he's seated, waiting for a march past. Such a ridicule. But of course, these pictures are so beautiful circulating around the world. And I want to thank and appreciate all those who make sure to immortalize these moments so that we not only see, but we will keep for generations upon generations of Southern Cameroonians to come. So they will be able to identify those who continue to stand against our dreams, those who continue to stand against our quest for a nice country, against our quest for freedom, against our quest to take back our land and develop it the way we want. And so history is taking notes. These pictures will stay, and they will also demonstrate to all who will come after us the prowess of the majorities of the people of the southern Cameroons. Now let's move over to Jacquerie. And this one was simply hilarious. Again,
Le
CPDM
passage
militants.
défilé civil, parti RDPC. Le RDPC, le passage civil, le RDPC.
Just take a look at this. These are people's fathers. These are some people's mother. This is some people's mother. Just take a look at how they're making themselves ridiculous. Look at people at this age, old enough to be grandparents, going to entertain a little colonial administrator who will support their talks. See what they are doing. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. What a disgrace. What an embarrassment. I'm sure their children must be eating their fingers somewhere and asking themselves, where did we go wrong to have such as parents? That in a whole community like Jacquerie, I mean a big local government area, thickly populated, these are the only three who came out to betray the wishes and aspirations of their people, to ridicule themselves. Perhaps they thought they were going to ridicule us, but to ridicule themselves. If anyone has ever read Gulliver's Travel, check Gulliver's trip to Lilliput, and then you remember the rope dance. You see how old intellectuals will go at pains and all not to entertain the sovereign, just so that they should have little favors. It shows the diminutive nature of man when they get into politics, identity politics. Such a shame. But of course, like I pointed out a while ago, these images, they simply show the world the power of the determination of the people of Amazonia, of the people of the southern Cameroons, to take back that which belongs to us. I couldn't thank them more. And in places where they claim that they had crowds, that they had people in good numbers marching on our territory, let me show you how they managed. Just take a look. See what's happening.
Deux personnes.
Pay attention. You can see.
Deux personnes, ne bousculez pas.
That's what happens.
Ne bousculez pas, deux personnes. Deux personnes.
They have to spend a lot of money to promote and perpetuate a lie. Just look at that. You see, if they can do this even on their own territory, in order to have young people, you see there, OGRDPC. Even in their own territory, they can do that. Just to be able to have people out, even on their own territory. Then imagine what happened in the southern Cameroon, in places like in Dongamanton, some areas where one Galagera claimed, oh, the people came out. Bags of money had to be moved to try and buy people's consciences, to try and intimidate and force people. And these things are not hiding. All in the name of perpetuating a big lie. Because even over in La République, people have started recognizing the ridicule of celebrating May 20. Oh yes. Recall, for 2 consecutive years, they could not celebrate the big lie because circumstances continued to douse it. But this time around, they said, against all odds, we will. And God did not hesitate to send down the rains, real torrential rains, to send clear signs that don't lie. Because the people permanently live lies, that's why everything about them are lies. In my last communication here, and just before I go ahead, let me remind you that the big issue of the day is still ahead. I haven't touched it because I just want us to see and understand why we should never, ever attempt again to have anything to do with such a kangaroo country, with such a rogue state. Now look at this. In my last communication, I talked about Paul Biya going to Switzerland, going to Geneva to have all kinds of medication pumped in him so they can resist a few minutes. At least the march past lasted 1 hour 30 minutes. But you noticed that even during this time, people were like, oh, you see, he came back, he was feeling very strong. He was very strong. Then I said, let me take my time and watch how strong he really was. But it all started right from the airport. You now take a look. Just take a look. That's the aircraft. See the stairway. I mean, it's lowered. As Paul Biya, he comes close, he holds, he begins to come down. Did anybody see him marching down the stairway? Did anybody see Paul Biya marching down that stairway? Hell no. I mean, I'm letting it roll again. Take note of what I'm saying. You see the aircraft is there. They will lower the stairway. Of course, the stairway is lowered. We see him get to the top of the stairway. When he holds the rail, bam! You simply see him on the ground while you see Chantal coming down. Of course, because they had to find alternative ways of bringing Paul Biya down. He couldn't descend that stairway on his own. He could not. It's the same scenario that I watched at the 20th May Avenue. I was waiting to see Mr. Paul Biya go down and review the troops. But even to see him alighting from his vehicle, I did not see even once. Even to see him climbing just the 3 steps into the tribune of honor, I did not see. I mean, I didn't see. Even to see Paul Biya getting back, just getting into his car at the moment of departure, I did not see. And then don't forget that it is because of all this, because they had to be carrying him like they carry an old person or supporting him and pushing, that they banned the use of cell phones at the 20th May Avenue. No one was allowed to get into that place with a cell phone. Not a single person. It was officially banned. That is also why they never allowed any other television channel to broadcast there the images. No. All had to take images only from CRTV. Oh yes. This is in an era of pluralism. All had to take images only from CRTV, where strict instructions were given on how the shooting had to happen. I learned that even when we see him emerge from the car where he's waving to the troops, and you have the feeling he's standing, I understand he was not even standing. That there was a chair side on which was seated that propelled him up. I had the feeling that he was standing. Why live a lie? Mr. Paul Biya is only a human being. I mean, only a human being, not a demigod. Mr. Paul Biya is 89 years old, for crying out loud. So it is just normal that he has lost a lot of his faculties. Normal that he is frail and finished. He is sick. It's normal. Why continue to want to push a lie that this man is solid, sound, and strong? Let me announce here clearly for my friends of La République du Cameroun. Listen, if you want support, I am throwing my support behind you for Paul Biya's candidature for president in 2025. And in 2025, because he's already won, we start negotiating 2032. Paul Biya should never go anywhere. He's immortal. What a shame. What a national disgrace. Why you are hiding it from the cameras and from Cameroonians, the diplomats, the foreign diplomats, the foreign dignitaries who were sitting at the grandstand could see him being carried, could see him being supported so seriously, could see how they were mounting guard, Chantal, others were mounting guard to make sure he doesn't want to rise and then crashes. Everything is visible to those people. And that is where it hurts. That's where it's even the most ridiculous. My people of Amazonia. Like I said it before, Paul Biya is a gift that has to keep giving. Paul Biya will only shift when we would have asserted our inalienable right to self-determination. Take serious note. And then, for all those in our midst of Southern Cameroon's extraction who continue to believe that they can be considered out there, take a look at this. I talked before about the massive division within La République du Cameroun, and some think it's a joke. And I've said, there is not a single Southern Cameroonian, not even Elvis Ngole who was running his mouth on one television channel there. Of course, I'm going to bring it here and let's talk about it. And talking lies in the name of some kind of unity and honor that he knows himself does not exist. Not even him is considered by the people of La République du Cameroun as effectively being with them. Not even John. Just take a look at this. Look at this picture. Joseph John Gote is the prime minister, supposedly head of government in La République du Cameroun. He is the one who's supposed to be running the government. So if the president of the republic travels and comes back, that is the person he should be talking to, feverishly paying rapt attention, because that is the person who should be rendering him account on how the country fared in his absence. Not the Secretary General Ngongo that you see standing there in that exchange with Paul Biya. Not the Secretary General of the Presidency, because that is his secretary. But then, in practice, and I've proven that here several times, it is Ngongo who's running the country. So he's actually the de facto vice president. And you can see that, look at John Gute standing there almost like an intruder, confused. And then, when I move on to the next picture, you will see for yourselves here how John even struggles to seek for attention. Look at him there. People are chatting among themselves. I start looking at it. All that is to try to attract attention. You can see the body language. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. What a national disgrace. Dion, are you forced to be there? To be humiliated like this every day, by day and by night? People have proven to you beyond reasonable doubt that you don't belong. And this is how a good lot of them, it's even possible that Dion might have been fighting so hard here to get Paul Biya's attention even for 30 seconds so that he could tell him that we are in trouble. Your very close friend, your very good friend, Mamundi, is in trouble. Can you try to bail out so that it doesn't ridicule a good lot of us? Because it is already a shame. But even that little opportunity, perhaps to throw one word on behalf of Mirage and Mundi, he did not have the chance. And that's why Albert Nzongang never holds back his tongue in describing who and exactly what this prime minister is. Listen to me.
Si on revient donc sur le gouvernement, le Premier ministre, selon vous, il doit continuer à pouvoir gérer cette équipe gouvernementale?
Est-ce que le Premier ministre gère l'équipe gouvernementale? On parle de quoi? Le Premier ministre est là pour remplir l'organigramme. Il gère quelle équipe gouvernementale? Il connaît qu'on nomme un ministre comment? Il peut proposer la nomination de quelqu'un? Je préfère même le président de l'Assemblée nationale, il gère même un budget. Ah, non, c'est le secrétaire général qui gère, mais au moins il y a un budget à l'Assemblée. Non, laissez-moi tout ça. C'est l'ensemble des choses que je dis qu'il faut corriger. On dit, le président nomme le gouvernement sur proposition du Premier ministre. Et on nomme même les ministres avant de nommer le Premier ministre. Mais vraiment, il ne faut pas nous prendre pour des cons. Il n'y a pas de Premier ministre au Cameroun. Il y a un monsieur qu'on a mis quelque part et on lui dit que si on appelle les ministres, arrive le premier, c'est tout.
Donc pour vous, c'est un poste inutile, comme dit M. Barafa.
I know that some of us don't understand French, but Albert Nzongang here is not mixing words. It's very, very clear that there is no such nonsense as Prime Minister in Cameroon. That position is a gap filler. Because the journalist is asking, should the Prime Minister continue to run the government, to manage the affairs of the various ministries? And Albert Nzongang tells him straight up, the Prime Minister has no control over anybody. He cannot give instructions to anybody. No, that he just seated there because they said, okay, Premier in French means number one. And of course, it will be the same like Prime. That he just say Premier Minister, that's number one minister. That if I say, I need to see the ministers, you should come first. Not because there's anything peculiar with that position. Absolutely. And you could see that. The body language on this picture, simply justifies what Albert Nzongang says. You look at that. You see him there struggling to attract attention, but look at where Paul Biya's face, attention, everything is focused. Complete. And he went on and on. Not for 1 second did you see him turn his attention to Dion. Not for 1 second. What a snob. But of course, it's when people decide to live in denial. It is when people decide to live an illusion. It is when people decide to live utopia. That is what happens to them. No wonder, therefore, that when he had the least opportunity in Bamenda, John could only say this.
Be honest to ourselves. A lot has been done. That is why the president sent me to come. tell you that it is time. It is time that we regain our territory. We regain our independence, we regain our sovereignty, our normalcy, our dignity. To be honest to ourselves. A lot has been done. That is why the president said,
I'm repeating it on purpose.
To tell you that it is time. It is time that we regain our territory. We regain our independence, we regain our sovereignty, our.
So the words that came out of John Guterres' subconscious were simply what inspired by what he is living at that place called Star Building every day. John Guterres, it is not today that it is time. The president simply therefore was telling you that after trying to fight us for so long, he has personally come to the realization too that there is no way he can continue to hold us in bondage. Now you know this truth. Why continue to allow yourself to be humiliated on a daily basis? Oh my goodness. This is a shame. This is ridiculous. This is unacceptable. My people of Amazonia, I've said it over and over again, and I will repeat it right here. This is our set time to be free, and it is now or never. We are on what is called the hard way, the only way. The only way. No one should come and deceive you and tell you stories to think that there's some other option we have. No. The only option we have is total and unmitigated freedom. In my last outing, I made clear that some of those things you hear Maurice Kamto now walking back his statements of previously, of 2017, of 2018, should not sink to anybody. You definitely read what Batasan said about Maurice Kamto before, that he is worse than Paul Biya, that he will be worse than Paul Biya if given the chance. Because we heard him say Cameroon has already made its history and there's no backtracking. Return to federalism to him was anathema. But today, because he has been counseled by France to say, let us move the deception to the next stage. And they think that we are still those fools. No, the times have changed. We have evolved. Our perception of things too has changed. Now we know that if someone tells us who they are, we will believe them the first time. And that is exactly how we see La République du Cameroun and everyone in that triangle. That is who they are. They will never, ever consider any single one of us as being a human being. Now I'm moving into the fifth of this conversation to let us see the kind of system that is on the other side. And to let us see why there will never be any development. To let us see why there is no future in being part of La République du Cameroun. To let us see what a joke that community really is. Before I go there, let's transit through this lady again. She really inspires me so much this day. I mean, I can't help listening to her again.
I can quote it all the time. Open your Bible, you see. Romans 13, 1 to 5. That power comes from God. And all those who have authority, they come from God. Chief von Mokete is here today, the paramount chief, because God says he will be the paramount chief. That's what God says. President Paul is head of state because God said, you are the head of state.
Objection. Objection.
Okay, let us put it away.
You can stand in the midst of everybody. You can stand
There is a God in heaven, and nobody can fight him. There is absolutely a God in heaven, and nobody can fight God. Not even a Tanga Ponji. Oh my goodness, that was really hilarious. I got up this morning just thinking of this mama. I don't know where she is, but whoever knows where she is, please shake her hands for me. Extend to her my hearty regards. Remind her that she is one of our Rosa Parks. Remind her that she is a brave lady, and always tell her that the hand of God is upon her head, because she was the chosen one to transmit that message in a most dramatic manner. And to date, we can see that power of God moving in each and every one of them. It is that same power, that same spirit that arrested John Gute. Oh yes, it's not by error that he found himself battling so hard. Take a look at
our dignity, be honest to ourselves. A lot has been done. That is why the president sent me to come here, to tell you that it is time. It is time that we regain our territory. We regain our independence, we regain our sovereign, our normalcy, our dignity.
So you can see for yourselves. He fought. He said to regain our territory. We regain our independence. He cut it short and wanted to look for a word to deviate. But after searching, the only word that came is regain our sovereignty. We started struggling to regain our normalcy. He was under that spiritual arrest. The same one that came out to tear Atanga in his face, say, objection. Now, let's move into this matter. Watch this report. I know you may not understand the French, but I will make a quick summary of it. Listen.
Elle n'aura malheureusement pas le privilège de vivre le retour du défilé en cette célébration du cinquantenaire de la fête de l'unité au Cameroun. Madame Vogo Emeline, chef du centre régional des impôts de la région du centre, a été écrouée cet après-midi à la prison centrale de Yaoundé-Kondengui. Poursuivie depuis le mardi 19 avril dernier pour des faits de concussion, corruption et escroquerie en bande organisée par la justice camerounaise après une plainte déposée par Jean-Pierre Amogobelinga, président du groupe L'Anecdote, la chef de gang du groupe des 8 fonctionnaires véreux de la Direction générale des impôts qui ont tenté d'escroquer 500 millions de francs CFA au promoteur de Vision 4, va passer sa première nuit au cachot. Elle, qui pourtant est arrivée ce matin au tribunal de première instance de Yaoundé Centre administratif, affichant un excès de zèle, convaincue de la véracité de ses déclarations faites lors de son audition. Pendant les 2 heures de confrontation avec Jean-Pierre Amogobelinga, Dame Emeline Vogo nie dans un premier temps tout contact téléphonique avec le président du groupe L'Anecdote. Elle réitère ensuite au juge d'instruction de n'avoir rencontré Jean-Pierre Amogobelinga qu'une seule fois. Un tissu de mensonges et de contre-vérités qui va rapidement être démonté avec preuve à l'appui par le président du conseil d'administration de Vision Finance. En dehors des preuves irréfutables qui démontrent que les 2 protagonistes se sont déjà rencontrés 3 fois, Jean-Pierre Amogobelinga va par la suite mettre à la disposition de Madame le juge d'instruction un listing d'appels et de SMS certifiés par l'Agence nationale des technologies de l'information et de la communication antique qui prouve que les 2 protagonistes ont régulièrement échangé par message et par appel. Face à ces preuves irréfutables, Emeline Vogo, clouée au pilori, tombe en sanglots. Elle va donc finalement avouer d'avoir estorqué 50 millions de francs CFA à Jean-Pierre Amogobelinga sur les 500 millions que son équipe et elle demandaient pour faire disparaître la fameuse dette fiscale de 12 milliards de francs CFA attribuée à la chaîne de télévision Vision 4 par la Direction générale des impôts. Ayant donc constaté les mensonges, la mauvaise foi, l'imposture et la manipulation de Dame Vogo Emeline, le juge d'instruction va décider de la mettre sous mandat de dépôt provisoire à la prison centrale de Kondengui. celle que ses collègues qualifient comme une disciple fidèle de Bacchus, n'aura pas la possibilité de noyer ses soucis ce soir autour d'un bon verre, comme elle en a l'habitude dans son bureau. Elle n'aura malheureusement pas le
So, look at, this is an episode that would have gone unnoticed. Why? Because a lot of attention was being placed on the 20th May festivities. Listen, this episode is very interesting. We will call it foreign news, but everything that happens within La République du Cameroun should attract our attention, because there is always a message in this for us. Amugu Bellinger is the boss and owner of Vision Card television channel. Of course, that we have often called Television Mille Collines, on basis of the fact that this is that television channel on which Jacques Zé referred to us, Southern Cameroonians, as roaches, as rats that needed to be annihilated, because it's ever dératisé. Southern Cameroonians. It is the same television channel on which Ernest Obama had been spewing a lot of trash about the people of the Southern Cameroons. Of course, we have been listening and watching one that they call Mathias Eric Onangini on that same channel, saying all sorts of derogatory things about the people of the Southern Cameroons. Of course, I recall that is the same Ernest Obama who on the 20th of March 2018 on that same TV channel ran a report explaining the position, the location of John Bakuro in Nigeria, and explaining how my visa had expired and everything, and I've been cornered in Nigeria. I cannot travel out again. My name is everywhere, and I will soon be rounded up and bundled back to Yaoundé to meet the other people wherever they were. Because at the time, none of us knew where Sisiko Ayuktabe and the rest of our Nera people were. That video, that report was sent to me on the 21st of March 2020, while I was already here in the United States of America. Of course, they didn't know that it had the wrong information about having me blocked. It is on Vision Card. So, the Director General, or I should say the CEO, the owner of Vision Card, Bellinger Amugu, considers himself an untouchable in La République du Cameroun for good reason. He considers himself an untouchable for good reason. And I will share a reason with us. This gentleman, as you see, that TV channel and the entire business empire he's built has been financed throughout with the taxpayers' money. Of course, because it falls within the framework of the various campaign and networks put in place to prepare for the succession fight in La République du Cameroun, and who will have the power to continue subjugating us. So that report that you watched, this lady that you see,
privilège de vivre le retour du défilé en cette célébration du cinquantenaire de la fête de l'unité au Cameroun. Madame Vogo Emeline, chef
in the central region of La République du Cameroun. She went out for recoveries from Vision Card. That company has never paid taxes for many years. And so, after an evaluation, after an audit, a tax audit, it was ascertained that Amugu Bellinger and his company Vision Card have to pay 12 billion CFA to the Cameroon Treasury for taxes. But of course, there was a game this lady played. Because she was at the head of the team that could do things, she asked him for 500 million in bribe so that they could kill the entire audit of 12 billion. Dragging, Amugu Bellinger gave her 50 million in cash. But while he was giving her this money, he decided to hide cameras that shot them and got him inside that camera, handing her the 50 million in cash. It was not a check, in cash. Just so that he could use it against her. And for good reason. Why did he need to go through all that? Because of the camping. Because he was aware that this lady is a protege of the Director General of Taxes, Mr. Modeste Mopa Fatoin. And that Modeste Mopa, being Director General of Taxes, who is administratively under the Minister of Finance, Louis-Paul Motaze, which Louis-Paul Motaze is a partner to Amugu Bellinga. But that isn't what it is. Rather, that Modeste Mopa Fatoin rather takes his instructions directly from the Secretary General at the Presidency, who is a rival with Louis-Paul Motaze. So the camps are clearly divided. Mopa Fatoin with Amugu, with Ngongo Ferdinand, and then the Minister of Finance in league with Amugu Bellinga. And this lady in the middle now is a pawn. So at the end of the day, not wanting to pay these taxes, because the Director General of Taxes, after the first incident was reported, instructed that they seal all the accounts of Vision Card and the entire business empire under Amugu Bellinga. And then they identified they had over 163 companies, some not in his name, but still his, others disguised and everything for him alone. And that a good chunk of the money that he used in doing this was drawn from the Ministry of Finance under the budgetary line number 94, set aside for sovereignty. And he's been cutting hundreds of millions from there, facilitated by Louis-Paul Motaze all the time. So it came to pass that because Bellinga wanted at all costs to create a distraction and end up not paying taxes, he wanted to get this woman detained. And so he sued her for attempts at corruption and extortion. And then on the 19th of May, Thursday, this woman is taken before the judge at the court of first instance. That's what they call juge d'instruction, the examining magistrate. And so it was two examination. So in all the conversations, the arguments and counter-arguments, the magistrate at least saw the evidence and established that this lady wanted to extort money and actually did collect 50 million. And that the claims the lady made she had never been so engaged in communication with him were debunked, because he could prove, I'm saying what was in that report, because he could prove with call logs obtained from the telephone companies. He could prove with videos of them at various sittings and all of this. So at the end of the day, the judge decided to sign a remand warrant. So the examining magistrate signed a remand warrant ordering that this woman be taken to Kondengi. Don't ask yourself why I'm taking time on this, because it is essential. It's important we listen to this. We will know exactly what is happening to our people in the various dungeons of La République du Cameroun. So, of course, this woman, even if Amugu Bellinga were owing taxes, but at least it is clear that she went out to try and extort. And finally, she admitted, because the evidence was so strong. And now, the examining magistrate remanded her to prison custody. And of course, she was taken to Kondengi physically. She was driven from the magistrate's office straight to Kondengi. She didn't have to pass through a police cell, a gendarmerie cell, straight to Kondengi, because it was a direct remand warrant. And so, when she was taken there, you therefore had this triumphalist report from the Amugu Bellinga Empire. And why would he do that? Amugu Belinga can give instructions to people in the Justice Department because look at here. This is Amugu Belinga getting married, I think, for the fourth or the fifth time. Of course, you can see one of his most prominent guests here, or the most prominent person standing by him there beside the mayor himself and the new wife is Laurent Esso. No other person but Laurent Esso, the Minister of Justice of La République du Cameroun, who should be after people who are extorting, who are draining the resources of a country like La République du Cameroun. Just exactly what Amugu Belinga is doing. But this is his friend, his closest friend. And that is why he could instruct, he can instruct anybody, do this. And as soon as the lady was dropped in jail, he could have that triumphalist attitude. But of course, it was going to be so short-lived, my people. This is where the drama comes in. Do you know that this lady did not spend the night in Koningui?
Du centre régional des impôts de la région du centre a été écroué cet après-midi à la prison centrale de Yaoundé-Kondengui. Poursuivi depuis le mardi 19 avril dernier.
This gentle lady never spent the night in Kondengui. As soon as she was dropped in there, hours after, a phone call from Ferdinand Ngongo, Secretary General at the Presidency of the Republic, instructed the president of this appeal court center and said that lady should be released with immediate effect and anything that was taken from her restored on high instructions from the head of state. Listen to that. That is the kind of justice system that operates in La République du Cameroun. I'm telling you, at the moment I'm talking to you, Madame Vogo is in her house, having fun, enjoying herself. While my brothers, my sisters of the southern Cameroons are in jail for doing nothing. Where is the justice system? Ngongo is the law. I mean, it's really dramatic. Very interesting. This lady did not spend one night. Hours after being dropped in the place. A call from Ngongo. Oya, set her free. Whatever she had done, whether it's established, whether she admitted or did not admit, nonsense. I recall at one point I listened to a report on CRTV, or I think I was actually presenting news and I took that report. We actually had excerpts cut of our own Trisha Oben, who was saying in Cameroon, justice is bought and sold to the highest bidder. That is why a lot of our people who are in jail today, captured or no, kidnapped by Mr. Paul Biya's thugs from all over our territory and are finally ferried to Yaoundé in the name of they are suspected or they have suspected connections to Amba is because they could not pay. It's because they could not pay. You see the 40 bike riders kidnapped in Dop and who are being held all over the place and carried here and there and court-martialed or marshaled before military judges is because they did not pay the 500,000, the 1 million that is being demanded of them. Even as I'm talking now, on the 21st of May, that was yesterday, Saturday, at Mobile Quen in Bamenda, 3 vehicles of the B just got into the place, and it made taxi drivers parked all over the place, waiting for passengers, especially those going towards Tuba, Bambili, in short, in that entire area. And the thugs just jumped down from the cars and went from driver to driver, give me a document, give me a document, give me a document. I understand they collected randomly from almost 30 taxi drivers. And all they told them was, meet us at our office. Those who have already been to that office now say They are asking them to pay 1,500,000 before collecting their documents. For whatever crime, nobody has been told whatever crime they committed. But simply because the brigade commander is broke, or because the legion commander says they need money to provide food for people, or because General Valenka says they need money, so they just jump out. Anyone they catch, they just tell you, okay, from now you are suspected amber. From now, bring this money, and they collect that money. So these drivers, as I'm talking now, they're in a trance. What was their crime? Simply doing their job. But because we are treated as a conquered people, that state of lawlessness that prevails in the Republic of Cameroon has been transported to our land. Don't ever forget that one of the immediate kickers for this movement was our desire to preserve our legal system, the common law system, where you are considered innocent until you are proven guilty. But a system is imposed on us where you are considered guilty until proven innocent. And because you are a Southern Cameroonian, being brought before citizens of La République du Cameroun, before judges from La République du Cameroun, of course, you will never be innocent. Unless anyone is here to tell me that a cockroach can ever be decreed innocent in a gathering of fowls. That doesn't happen. Just look at this. This woman is a bona fide criminal. But instruction is given within minutes to have her released. Why Panfongalamfo, Patasan, Sisi Kujilios, Ayuk Tabe, Mancho Bibixi? All of these people, there are many of them. I don't want to start calling some names because I may forget some. Congressmen, they are all there simply for expressing the desire to live free. And that is the kind of country that some people want us to continue to be attached to. Why they did what they did to these taxi drivers and Quen, the likes of Mamundi are all over the place claiming that they are MPs. Like I heard one talking on Defcam radio, calling himself MP for Bamenda Tuba, and making claims. Where are they? If you represent your people, you will stand for them. That is what the elected representatives of the people are. Although we know that we did not elect you and didn't send you anywhere, if you want to even make claims, stand up. No. 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 It's too much. It's too much, my people. It's exaggerated. I'm urging our people in the Southern Cameroons to brace up for the time when we rise up again like one man and tell them, even as civilians, that enough is enough. Sometimes I just feel exasperated. I just feel low. I just feel worried. I just feel embarrassed that this kind of thing is happening in the third millennium. Yet, some people who have gone to school still have the guts to stand and talk to me about someone and indivisible. My people, while I continue to hail and congratulate all and sundry for continuing to foil the plans, activities, and operations of La République du Cameroun on our territory, I want to urge us all to note that it is only through total determination, through reinforced resilience, that we will be able to overcome. No one should try and discourage any one of us. We are on the right path. And that path on which we are is the path of victory. Let me close once more with this.
He said that if you shut down the city today.
I can quote it all the time. Open your Bible, you see. Romans 13, 1 to 5. That power comes from God. And all those who have authority, they come from God. chief for located here today, the paramount chief, because God says he will be the paramount chief. That's what God says. President Paul is head of state because God said you are the head of state.
Objection. Objection.
Okay, let us put it away.
Fight God. Nobody can fight God. You can stand in the midst of everyone. You can stand before this court and speak everything. But I want to make you to know that there is a God behind you. That one.
Exactly, my sister. So we end with that. Nobody can fight God. Always be reminded that there is a God of justice in heaven and that he has determined that this is our set time to be free. And free we must be, my people. To the same God be all the glory.